Hello once again. Happy New Year! Ayan, so may klase na naman tayo. Umpisa na naman ng klase and busy ang ating mga teachers sa paghahanda ng mga lessons. Tama ho ba? Ngayon, ang pag-uusapan natin ay tungkol sa statement na ito na nabasa ko sa isang article na isinulat ni Ines Ponce de Leon. Ito ang article, ang sabi niya ay, keeping students free from difficulty is perpetuating mediocrity in disguise of care. Yan po ang ating pag-uusapan ngayon.
You don't need no education. Teacher, leave them kids alone.
Welcome to Teacher's Pod.
Ayan, Teacher's Pod, page 9. Okay. Set the scene. Nandito ako sa sasakyan ko ngayon. Nagre-record habang break time. Ayan. Since kaumpisa pa lang ng podcast na ito, we're having hard time to fit in or i-fit siya sa schedule natin. Okay? Pero, ayun nga. Ang plano ko dito is tuloy-tuloy ito kung saan ibibigay ko ang aking mga reaction sa mga bagay-bagay na nangyayari sa ating mundo ng pagtuturo. Yan. At kung yung tulad ng ginagawa natin dati, may mga sulat ang mga teachers, mga guro na kasama natin na gusto mag-share ng kanilang experience, binabasa natin dito. Ayan. Ngayon, hindi naman po ito sumulat sa ating podcast, sa ating Facebook page, pero nabasa ko ito kung saan yung sinabi ko kanina na parang yung yung parang kapag nagbibigay daw tayo ng mga simpleng mga bagay, yung mga madadali binibigay natin sa mga estudyante natin, parang we are perpetuating mediocrity daw. Tama. Parang tapos sinasabi natin na kasi baka mahirapan sila, parang dinidisguise natin na nagki-care tayo sa mga bata. And nakita ko ito, parang naging tagline, and then sinubukan kong basahin. And tingnan natin, baka may relate tayong other experiences sa ating mga schools. So, babasahin natin ang article para sa ating page 9, and then magbibigay tayo ng mga reaction, sharing of experiences. So, ito ang sinulat ni Madam Ines Ponce de Leon. The other day, I bumped into a former student, now a high school Filipino teacher. She liked the earnestness of her students, she said, but the curriculum upset her. The students no longer had to read the entire text of Nolimi Tangere or El Filibusterismo, Jose Rizal's novels. They simply had to read and be tested on summaries. Naalala ko nung high school ako, we are required to read the novel. Tapos gagawa kami ng mga reaction. Magre-report kami tungkol sa mga nabasa namin and then sharing sa class. Kailangan naming basahin yung entire novel. Ngayon, summary daw. Sa mga high school teacher, talaga bang ganun na yung nangyayari ngayon? Ayun nga. Ang problema rin kasi, hindi ko alam kung saan tayo mag-uumpisa sa kung saan natin ipipinpoint yung original root of the problem. Na karamihan is hindi na natin imamask pa ito. Pero we are very poor sa reading comprehension. Okay. Yun nga, kung titingnan mo, hindi naman siguro karamihan, pero may mga bata, say 20%, malaki pa rin yun, na hindi masyadong maintindihan ang kanilang binabasa. Ay talagang hindi sila mamomotivate na magbasa ng novel. Ayun. And then, kaya yung summary na lang daw, natetest na lang sila sa summary. Kasi sa bagay, sasabihin na baka nahihirapan yung student kasi yun yung palaging linya, di ba? Nahihirapan kasi yung bata, kaya bigyan na lang natin, gawin natin mas madali. which is parang yun, ang lalabas na product nila is yun, parang pino-foster natin yung sinabi niya kanina na mediocrity. Ano ba kasi yung mediocrity sa Tagalog? Yan. Okay. Yung mga ugali na pwede na yan. Yung mga ganon. Na hindi natin na ilalabas yung full potential natin. Okay, tuloy natin. I was astonished to say the least. While the books were difficult to get through, the class discussions we had in high school were helpful. We broke apart lines of dialogues to look at the symbols Rizal had deliberately or sneakily placed. Yeah, ginawa rin namin yun nung high school kami. We analyzed scenes to uncover critics of the government. Ayun, yung tungkol sa Portabo. That was in the chapter 1, di ba? Ginawa natin yun sa mga kahenerasyon ko. The school system, the culture of Filipinos. We linked scenes to Rizal's experiences as dissident in exile, an intellectual at odds with the revolutionaries of the time. They said they didn't want to make it hard for the student. Ayan na, dumating na nga sa sinasabi ko. Pero kung pipinpoint kasi natin, okay, sa high school, expected na kasi na gagawin nila yon. Okay? Pero yun nga, we are, or most of the student, nahuhuli sila sa level ng kanilang reading. Right? Na, ang nangyayari kasi ngayon is, we often forget that there are levels to reading. Okay? So, unang-una yung reading at identifying the sounds of letters. Pangalawa, mixing it up to form the words. After that one, reading the word, reading a sentence, reading a paragraph, and then here comes you read and understand what you are reading, right? And sa understanding or sa comprehension, may levels din yan, which is dapat develop na yan, thoroughly develop sa kanilang elementary. Ayan. Hindi natin mapinpoint, hindi naman natin masisisi kasi yung teacher sa elementary din na sila ang dahilan kung bakit pumasa itong mga ito, na kulang yung level of reading. Kasi nga, ayun, mahirap magsalita pero masisisi lahat ng mga teachers. Bakit hindi pumasa ito yung things like that? Sasabihin ni teacher, kasi hindi makapagbasa. Anong ginawa mo bilang teacher para mapabasa mo siya? Those are the things. As if walang ginawa si teacher para matulungan yung bata. So, ayun, nagiging hindi natin mapinpoint sometimes we would agree with the old teachers, yung mga legendary teachers natin, na nag-experience ng if the child cannot read, hindi siya papasa, hindi siya mapopromote. Kasi the products ng education system na yon ay talagang well taught. Tama po ba? Ayan. Ngayon, they said they didn't want to make it hard for the student. It's a remedy na lang yan sa mga teachers sa higher basic education, di ba? Okay. My former student said in a vernacular, rolling her eyes, her exact words sound more pathetic. Ayaw kasi nila na pahirapan ng mga bata. Which is, and I want to relate this experience yan, to be able to excel yung mga soldiers natin, in order for them to be a good warrior, they have to undergo training. And in the training, sa training nila, kailangang mahirap yung training so that they can excel on their job. Okay? That analogy, let's take that analogy, lagay natin sa eskwelahan. Okay? Sa education. Okay? Ang education is training ground ng mga bata. Ngayon, kung hindi natin sila pinapahirapan, anong product ang ilalabas nila in the future? Ayun na, ito nga ang sabi niya. Ayaw daw kasi pahirapan yung bata. Diba? Ayan. So, I'm just checking. Check muna natin kung nagre-record tayo. Alright. So, tuloy natin. Indeed, this the season of bearing the repercussions of this mentality. Though I'm shielded from the burden of teaching for a year, I still hear my colleagues talk about their travails in the travels. It's travails of over-cuddled, over-babied students who expect to be given a free pass for everything. Yeah. Sometimes, and I don't blame the parents, but it's an eye-opening statement for us. Masyado ba nating binibaby yung mga anak natin? At tayong mga parents din na teacher, mag-reflect na tayo kung masyado nating meron kasi tayong time, di ba, na sasabihin natin, ayaw ko kasing maranasan niya yung naranasan ko na masyadong napakahirap. But sometimes, if we will try to reflect deeper, yung karanasan mo bang yun na mahirap, may naituro ba sa buhay mo? Ayun, di ba? Yun yung masyadong nakakalimutan natin eh. Okay? That we have the difficulty of a situation helps the learner or helps us get through in the future. Ayun nga. And sometimes this statement is true. Is it true? Yeah. Over-cuddled and over-babied students. Mga students natin. Tuloy natin. Just this week, a student confronted with a possible failing grade pleaded to be allowed to submit their long overdue class requirement despite having attended classes, worked with groupmates, or contributed to class discussions. Another student asked for make-up work to pull up their grades on the night that grades were due. Yet another student asked why they have gotten only B+ when they deserve an A for effort. A for effort. Seriously. Ayan, mga nararanasan natin eh. And most probably prevalent ito sa high school and in the private schools, di ba? Okay. If we are too lenient, like just sharing to all the teachers na masyadong lenient, we are destroying and we are not instilling. Ang pinaka dapat na instill natin sa mga bata, in my opinion, is yung work ethic eh. Okay? Kasi kahit na sorry for the word, kahit na bobo akong tao kung naturuan ako ng work ethic, ng dapat yung halaga ng trabaho, yung halaga ng paghihirapan mo, lahat ng ginagawa mo, hindi mawawala yon. And magtra-transfer yun sa reality or sa real life situation. It's a very important skill. It's a very important value to have a work ethic as compared to yung tao na matalino na walang work ethic. Okay? Ayun. Yun yung mga bata na yan nga, may deadline hindi sinusunod. Kasi they can always say that magre-request tayo ng extension. Magre-request tayo na we can have another time to pass what was long overdue. Ayun lang. Nga, parang walang consequence yung ginawa nila, di ba? It's a sad situation. Alam natin, nangyayari ito. It's commonly happening now sa lahat ng eskwelahan dito sa ating bansa. We're lucky that we deal only with students in the department. Other departments have to deal with parents. Yan yung sinasabi ko ngayon. Pumapasok yung mga parents. Yes, we know the parents pay for tuition in the case of the private school, but this does not give them the license to demand looser rules, a change in professors' class schedule, and even a change in the grades of their old enough to vote children. Siguro sa college nagtuturo si Mama. May parents pa ba na pupunta at makikiusap na taasan yung grade or ipasa yung anak niya? Ay, sos Mariosep naman po. Siguro pag nagtrabaho yung anak niya, pupunta dun sa bus ng kanyang, pakibigyan naman po ng bonus yung anak ko. Oh my God. Overly babied nga talaga. Let's continue reading. Ito. We would understand if parents explain their child's condition. Oo nga naman. Yung dapat diagnose din na with documentation na talagang ganito ang condition ng anak, maiintindihan ho yun. That is what we say a consideration. That's the exception to the rule. Especially if the condition can get in a way of class performance and participation. But when parents arrive to complain and demand changes for a responsible student, yan na, yung sinasabi nating overcoddled na. Kaya nagiging lalong irresponsible yung bata. It feels as though they were putting the school in charge of what should have been laid in foundations years before. Why is my child not praying? Are you sure you're teaching them good theology? Sorry parents, but that's catechism. Also, kids pray if they see you praying and living good, righteous lives at the same time. May mga sa school siguro na madam, ano? Bakit hindi nagdarasal daw yung anak niya? Ito pa. Why aren't my kids reading? Tatanungin. Ang sagot naman ni madam dito is, sorry parents, but they should have been trained better at home and in basic education. Also, kids read only if they see you reading. Tama. Reading is an acquired skill in childhood. Reading regularly into adulthood is a learned behavior. Tama po. Okay. And that's why educating, it takes a village to educate a child. This is I don't know, but I think this is an African proverb. And it's very true. It takes a village to educate a child. Ang pag-aaral, my God, nabubulol na ako. Ang pag-aaral ng bata ay responsibilidad ng lahat ng pamilya at hindi lang ng eskwelahan, ng simbahan, ng buong pamayanan. Kaya kung ano yung gusto mong matutunan ng anak mo, gusto mong yung anak mo ay marunong magbasa or magkaroon ng habit ng pagbabasa, dapat nakikita kanyang nagbabasa sa bahay nyo. Okay? Huwag yung magko-complain ka lang, bakit hindi nagbabasa yung anak ko? Siyempre, tanungin mo muna yung, ay nako, yan. Next, let's continue. Are you going to make sure that my child gets a job? Sorry parents, but that's up to your child. College is a place to sharpen skills that should have been formed, nourished, and practiced both at home and in basic education. Yeah. Yes. And sometimes, yun nga rin, nagre-reflect tayo kung minsan and then nasasabi natin sa sarili, ano nga bang nangyari sa ating basic education? Especially so that, very common, lumabas na mga issue na in PISA, we are lagging behind sa mga international exams, standardized exam. Naglalag yung Pilipinas sa huli in terms of reading and mathematics. Ano kaya ang nangyari? Okay. Now, a lot of people, which sometimes I tend to agree, would blame the curriculum. Wherein yung mga frontliners natin, sino ba yung mga frontliners natin? Yung mga teachers natin ay nakatali ang kamay dito. We just, alam natin yan. Sumusunod lang tayo, sa mga sinasabi nila. Okay? Wherein, kung i-compare na natin, bakit kaya habang tumatagal is parang nagdi-decrease yung quality? So, sometimes yung sinasabi nga nila nasisisi yung curriculum. Pagdating sana sa college, which is tama si ma'am, pagdating sana sa college is yung skills na nila to come out and to join the pools of leaders, future leaders and workers. Dapat yung skill na nila na kailangan nila doon ang nahahasa. Hindi yung namomroblema pa sila doon sa yung mga dapat na may instill na basic knowledge sa kanila, pero no problema pa nila. There is no single session solution to problems that were created all because we shielded our students from making an effort in their own. Yes. Okay. So, there's no single solution to problems that were created. Yan yung mga problema yung kailangan nandun si parents na magbaback up sa kanila, dahil doon sa nung bata sila, they were shielded from making an effort. Okay? And dito na nga yung linya niya na sinabi niya na keeping students free from difficulty is perpetuating mediocrity. And that mediocrity will permeate, pupunta yun sa sa mga responsibility nila bilang the future nation builders. Okay? And sooner or later we will find our society collapsing because of that. Nag-instill tayo ng mediocre na work ethic, okay, which resulted to low level of knowledge. Diba? Most students will groan, why do you want to give us hard time? Why do you want to give us the hard time that you went through? This response reduces our experience to mere stepping stone to which we pay neither attention nor reflection. Such a response also betrays a gross misunderstanding of the nature of reading, work, and effort. These are not mere tasks to tick off a list. They are experiences to learn from, where learning is neither immediate nor straightforward. Just tama po, tama. Okay? Those are things that was really the basic and the essentials that they have to go through. This too reminds me of the end of Father Adolfo Decanay's homily in Ateneo's Immaculate Conception Mass. He talked about the angel Gabriel who respected Mary's free will. After the Annunciation, the angel left her, allowing Mary to figure out her life on her own. Father Decanay continued with the call to all parents. Be like the angel, he said. Leave your children. Don't abandon them, but trust that parenting, prayers, and good values are enough to raise children who will respond to the world with generosity. Yes, do not overcuddle parents. And with a stress on every word, parents should not fight their children's battles. I'll repeat. Parents should not fight their children's battles. Be there for them. Okay? That's their own personal battle. As a parents, be there for them. Okay? Trust that you have instilled the proper weapons that they needed to face their battles. Okay? If they lack weapon, let them discover that. Tama, di ba? Hayaan yung ma-discover nila kung ano yung kulang nila. What you can do as a parent is just to be there for them and to say that I am just here. I can listen to you. Can you listen to your frustrations? Okay, you can give a guiding advice for them, but not to be the one who will be resolving the problems for them. Okay. Sooner or later, we parents will be gone. At yung mga bata ay nandito at sila naman yung tatay ng parents. Anong may tuturo nila sa anak nila kapag they are too overcuddled and overshielded? Diba? Let them fight their battles. I offer an extension. Let the next generation fight its own battles so that it does not constantly need its elders to validate its effort, outputs, and opinions. Let an adult child go. To let an adult child go is painful, but to see a child fail at fighting battles on their own, that's pitiful. Okay, so yun nga, tama nga naman. Teacher and basic education, parents and guardians, let your children fight battles. Let them lose and learn. Let them win and celebrate. Let them be better than we ever were, without us having to be there to guide their every step. Oo nga naman. Okay. siguro pati tayo na nandito sa basic education, ano, baka ino-overcuddle natin yung mga student natin. Binibigyan natin sila ng madadaling gawain. Okay? Which, okay, not in my principle. Kasi sa akin is, yun, lagi kong sinasabi sa mga estudyante ko. Okay? It's okay to make mistake. Kapag nahihirapan kayo, that's life. Lagi kong sinasabi yan. Okay? Nandito kayo sa eskwelahan to train for life. Okay? Sa buhay, talagang maraming mahirap. Diba? Ayun. And, yun nga, let's not protect them. Let's just guide them and make sure yung gusto kong ma-instill sa mga bata is work ethic. Okay? Kahit na yung pinakamatalinong bata, kung wala siyang work ethic, okay, cannot build a system of working for herself or for himself, mawawala din siya. Okay? So the importance of doing something, creating something, yun ang dapat ma-instill natin sa mga bata. Okay? Let us make them better than we ever were. Ayun, tama siya. Okay. So yun, ang napakagandang article from Madam Ines Ponce de Leon. Na-highlight yung mga yung mga issues natin dito sa sa basic education. At the same time, kung ano nga talaga yung makikita natin yung degradation nga naman ng the way we teach our children. Okay. Somehow there's a degradation. Parang nababawasan. Sa personal observation also. Again, mahirap nga kasi magsalita kasi nga kung ganito na rin. Buti nga sa podcast na ito walang masyadong nakikinig eh. Hindi kung hindi, I'll be in a hot seat. Okay. Kasi daw kung magko-comment tayo, accordingly kailangang back up by a credible data. Ganon. So, at the same time, kung pwede, iwasan daw mag-comment sa pinagtatrabuhan natin. Ang sa akin lang naman is, I'm just sharing my observation. Ayun. Okay. It's better to tell the truth than, to go quiet and hope na mapapalitan. Walang mangyayari kung hindi tayo mag-voice out ng opinion. Anyway, and at the same time, that's my right as a person living in a democratic country. Yeah. Again, so far, I think that's it for page 9 ng ating Teacher's Pod. And ayun, it's just a reflection ng ano ba talagang nangyayari, and then reflection din natin sa sarili natin. Okay, lahat tayo gusto ng change, a change for the better, okay, na ma-improve ito. So it's up for us to make a change. Okay, sa akin talaga is nakita ko na ito noon pa, yung topic ng article ni Madam na ito, na parang just for the sake na matapos na lang, binibigyan na natin sila ng madaling gawin, ng easy lesson. At the same time, and I'm guilty with this also, yung kapag gagawa ka ng lesson plan mo is, you will think of the slowest in the class and i-base mo doon yung difficulty ng yung lesson, which is you're helping someone, but then paano naman yung iba? Okay. So mas maganda na we should look at the lesson that they have to learn, give the proper difficulty ng lesson na yun, and then just give a supplemental sa mga bata na nahihirapan. Yan. It's a wake-up call for us. We need to change, and if we want change, we cannot wait for kahit na anong DepEd Secretary ang papalit dyan. Nasa atin pa rin na nasa baba ang change. So we make our own change. Despite the odds, kahit na maraming kumukontra sa atin, yun, let's do what is right. And yun, God will do the rest for us. That's it for today, and see you on the next page.